Travels with Dottie here. I have a new microphone set up, so I think that you're going to find that the sound on these walk-in videos is going to be a lot better. You're going to notice that the first part of this video it's much brighter because I screwed it up. The first sort of clip I did, there was no sound. I'm going to keep the other one, so I'm going to kind of try to repeat what I was saying before, and it was I was talking about a little frustrated with an aspect of social media we're all familiar with. That's exaggeration and things to get people to click. And, the news media is doing it. Social media is doing it. YouTube videos, they call it clickbait. It's stuff that isn't really true that gets you excited just to click. And I try not to do that. And am I 100% not guilty of that? Have there been times where I put something that's a little bit of exaggeration in the title or something? Yeah, and I'm going to try not to do that again. I'm going to talk about it in a minute when I get to the next scene where it's more early morning. That is about, something that was put on Facebook. It was a short, and it was kind of coming across like news. This thing happened in the world, and in the comments, I got a lot of people really upset, and it was really just sort of wildly inaccurate. And anyway, that's pretty much what I missed when I did this at first this morning, and the sound didn't work. But this is going to be amazing if it works, because there's a real stiff wind now, and the camera's kind of at an angle like this, buffering back and forth. We'll see how the stabilization does, and we'll see how the sound does. And y'all let me know in the comments what you think of the sound in the picture. Come to Papa. So there was one in particular that really bothered me. And let me tell you what it was. It was a clip of an elderly man, a veteran, who was complaining about getting kicked out of his nursing home. And the title of it was 95-year-old veteran gets kicked out of nursing home to make room for immigrants. And if you look at the comments, there were thousands of comments about people angry at the government for doing this to this poor veteran. And like so many of us, I see something like that, and before I get angry, I do a little bit of research. I say, I don't know who's posting this and what it means, and so I researched it, and it turns out that this guy did get removed from his nursing home because the nursing home went out of business, and everyone got kicked out of the nursing home, and it got sold, and the property eventually got turned into housing for immigrants. Well, how's that the government's fault? And really, how it just doesn't make any sense to get angry over something like that. It didn't happen. It didn't happen that way. Now, if you want to get angry at a nursing home for going out of business and for someone buying a building to make it an immigrant housing facility, that's a whole nother thing. But to characterize it as the government went in and threw this 95-year-old veteran in the street to make room for immigrants, it's just a crazy way to get people to watch something. And it's irresponsible. Does it happen on YouTube with people like me? Yeah, it does. People get, I want more views, I need more views, I got to get more subscribers. And they exaggerate more and more on the thumbnails and describe things as very different from what the reality is to get people triggers people emotion to get them to watch. I don't know what the answer is to that kind of thing. It's going to continue to happen. I mean, in one form or another, people trying to sell stuff have been doing things like that forever. This is not new. But it's infiltrated the way we get our news. And the only thing I can think of to combat that is when you see something, don't react to it until you take a breath, think about where it's coming from, do a little bit of your own independent research, and figure out for yourself what sources of information do you think are reliable and what sources don't you think are reliable, or more importantly, what sources do you just not know if they're reliable or not. So that's my policy, and that's as close as I'm ever going to get to anything political. That's not really political. That's news media. That's social media. I don't have any particular plans for the day. I've got a couple of appointments late in the afternoon, but that leaves my whole day free. And I don't know whether I'll make another video today or not. If I do, you'll know about it tomorrow, that's for sure. What else? Oh, I'm going to Phoenix on Saturday. Cheryl and I are going to go to Phoenix to pick up Jim, who's flying in from Canada. Jim from Canada, as most of you know him, had to go back for a 10-day work stint. And he's anxious to get back. I was thinking, what are the things that I can do in Phoenix since I'm going there? And I thought of two really great things I can do. One is there's a Levi outlet, and I'm going to try to get jeans that fit better than these things. And, you know, maybe it's just what Jerry Seinfeld said. He said men like over 40 should not wear jeans. You just, you know, there's an age you get, you got to stop. But I'm not giving up yet. I'm going to go to the Levi's outlet, see if I can get something that fits an old man like me. And the other thing is, in my desk, in my rig, I've been using just a plastic chair I got at Target a few years ago, and not really working too well. When I'm there for extended periods of time, it's very uncomfortable. So I'm going to go to Office Depot. I'm going to find me a comfortable office chair. So going to get Jim in Phoenix. Jim is staying in a hotel room. His flight's getting in Friday night. He's going to stay in a hotel room. So I'll have that hotel room in the morning, and I'm going to take my laptop with me and do my hour session in his hotel room well, he and Cheryl probably get some breakfast at Waffle House, which is next door. And then I'll get a nice, comfortable office chair. That'll make a big difference for me and my back. Then go to the Levi outlet and anywhere the two of them want to go, because we're going to be in the metropolis of Phoenix, Arizona. It's a 2-hour drive, so it's 4 hours on the road in a few hours. It's going to be certainly an all-day thing. I wouldn't think that we're going to get back till about 6 or 7 o'clock Saturday night, but it'll be worth it. Especially get to see Jim again. Jim, we miss you here. And say hi to Mom. Hey, Mom, I know you watch the videos. I love it that you watch the videos. So, let's see. I'm just going to keep talking, and if I end up saying something that, you know, might work for us, I'll keep it in. If not, this thing is doing a pretty good job following me around. I'm going to try to walk right into the sun here. So there's people asking you, what is that flying camera? Well, it's called the Hover X1. I'll put a link into it. It's not a cheap, it's a little tiny thing that does amazing stuff. It's not cheap. It's about $400. A little bit more if you want an extra battery, which if you're doing what I'm doing, you need an extra battery. During this, it ran out of battery and I had to get it, swap it, and restart it. So, yeah. And it's not perfect. I mean, there's every little firmware update. I'm trying to get you to go that way. Go that way. And it doesn't seem to want to do it. It'll follow me though. It's right now it's on a function called dolly track, and it's supposed to not follow me, but it's supposed to be in front of me and go backwards, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. I'm going to try to fool it. I'm going to, come on, come on. All right, there we go. Kind of, it keeps drifting off to the side, but I want to go that way. And one thing it does say, don't make sharp movements, make gradual movements as you're walking, and it will be able to follow you. See, that's kind of working. I gradually did it. And you know what I just saw? I see a blue doggy bag in the middle of the desert. Now, I have friends that see these things and get really angry. How can someone be this terrible? Well, I'll tell you, I did it, and I didn't do it on purpose. What happened was I put it in my pocket, tied a little knot in it, put it in my pocket, and didn't put it all the way in, and obviously it fell out, and I didn't notice it until my way back. So when you see these things in the desert, I guess it's remotely possible someone is just going, screw everything, and dropping the bag in the desert. But think about it. If you're going to be that discourteous, why would you bother putting it in a bag? You just let your dog poop and go on. It's people accidentally dropping the bags. So, what can you do about it? Pick up the bag for them, bring it home, throw it out. That's my policy. In this case, I picked one up, I'm going to throw it out, but in this case, I happen to be the culprit. It's nice to have nice blue bags, nice blue bags so you can see them. Oh, the sun's coming up, another beautiful day. I just love it here in the desert. And it's all coming to a close this year. It all happened so fast. It's almost the middle of February, and around about the middle of March, I'm going to guess, I'll be heading up to Pahrump. And I'll be in Pahrump, Nevada from the middle of March until the middle of June. And then I'm off again to New Mexico State Parks. Come on, Dottie. That can't be that fascinating. Fascinating to her, though. Dogs love scents. It's a whole different world that we know nothing about. And here we are back in camp. And it's right now it's just Tim is off on a 2-day mission, so he's not here. Robert and Martha are here. Cheryl's here. Daryl is here for just another couple of days, and he's heading up to his rental uh, up in Lake Havasu, so it'll be sad to see him go, but I'll be visiting him up there. And then as I go around the corner, looking straight into the sun, which you can't do because this thing will fly and hit me in the head, there's the little corner that has uh, Lisa and Judy and Barb all camped together in a little circle up here. We'll see. We're going to go walk all the way up here, and we will see if the battery lasts long enough on this to reach them and see if one of them might be out and about. It's a little early. I don't even think it's 8 o'clock yet. It is, oh heck, 8:01. It is 8 o'clock. Um, Probably my face is all lit up because I can see the big orange ball is in the sun. Well, the big yellow ball right now. The big yellow ball is in the sun, coming up over the horizon. And I don't know if you can see any of their camp as I walk by, but I'm going to try to walk around it carefully and see how it does when we make the turn. Okay, I'm following the directions. I'm moving slowly. You can see their rigs. And we get around the corner and you can see the rest of the camp. That's everything. Beautiful, beautifully lit by the glorious morning sun. And I'm going to end this video here because it seems like a good place to end it. Again, your time is the most valuable thing that I can think of, and that you give it to me by watching my videos. Thank you. I love that. Comments, I love hearing the comments, so feel free to comment away. I will see you on the next video.